Patsy Cline, country music singer, songwriter, and trailblazer. Patsy Cline is widely admired not just by fans, but by fellow artists and critics as one of the most distinctive and powerful voices in modern music history. Many younger female singers look to her as a true pioneer, someone who helped pave the way for women in a field that, for much of her time, leaned heavily on male stars. Her career, though only 5 years long at its peak, left an indelible mark. Born Virginia Patterson Hensley in Winchester, Virginia, she was the eldest of 3 children. Her father worked as a blacksmith, and her mother, just 16 when Patsy was born, was a talented seamstress. Music came into her life early. She sang in church with her mother, and that's where her love for performing began. When her father left the family, she had to leave high school and take on odd jobs to help make ends meet. One day, drawn by the sounds coming from the local radio station WINCM, she peeked through the window as musicians rehearsed. Finally, she worked up the courage to ask the station's disc jockey and talent coordinator, Jimmy McCoy, if she could try singing on air. That first radio performance in 1947 went so well listeners called in asking for more that she was invited back again and again. Before long, she was singing at local clubs, wearing Western-style stage outfits her mother sewed, based on Patsy's own sketches. She began performing in talent shows and variety acts across the Winchester area and beyond, and her growing local radio presence helped her build a loyal following. In 1954, she caught the attention of up-and-coming country artist Jimmy Dean and joined him as a regular on Connie B. Gay's Town and Country Jamboree, a daily live radio program out of Arlington, Virginia. In September 1953, she married Gerald Klein, a contractor quite a bit older than she was, but they parted ways for years later. He hoped for a more traditional home life. She was determined to sing. Soon after, she wed Charlie Dick, a linotype operator, and the two would go on to have 2 children together. Her manager at the time, Bill Peer, who also worked with 4 Star Records, helped her sign her first professional contract in 1955. It was Peer who suggested she go by the name Patsy, a shortened version of her middle name and her mother's maiden name, Patterson. Under the 4 Star label, she was limited to recording songs written by staff writers, which frustrated her. Her debut single, A Church, a Courtroom, and then Goodbye, didn't gain much notice, though it earned her a spot on the Grand Ole Opry. A major turning point came in early 1957 when she appeared on Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts, a nationally televised CBS show. Originally planning to sing A Poor Man's Roses, she was instead asked to perform Walking After Midnight, a choice that changed everything. Though the song was recorded in Nashville and rooted in country tradition, the show's producers had her wear an elegant cocktail dress rather than her familiar cowgirl attire. The audience loved her so much so that she won the competition outright. Listeners started calling radio stations requesting the song, and soon after, Walking After Midnight climbed to No. 2 on the country charts and No. 12 on the pop charts, making her one of the first country artists to find real success across genres. Between 1955 and 1957, she recorded a string of heartfelt honky-tonk numbers, songs like Fingerprints, Pick Me Up on Your Way Down, and A Stranger in My Arms, the last 2 of which she co-wrote. In 1958, after the birth of her daughter Julie, the family moved to Nashville to be closer to the heart of the music world. That same year, she met guitarist and promoter Randy Hughes, who would become her manager and help her transition to a new label. When her 4 Star contract ended in 1960, she signed with Decca Records, and that same year achieved a dream she'd long held. She officially joined the Grand Ole Opry, the only artist ever to do so, by request rather than invitation. She quickly became one of its brightest stars. Patsy also made time to uplift others, especially women just starting out. She formed close friendships with rising artists like Loretta Lynn, Dottie West, Jan Howard, and Barbara Mandrell, often offering encouragement, even financial help buying groceries, covering rent, or hiring friends as wardrobe assistants so they could stay in Nashville and chase their own dreams. Her first Decca release, I Fall to Pieces 1961, was a defining hit. It rose to No. 1 on the country charts and also reached No. 12 on the pop chart and No. 6 on the adult contemporary chart. At a time when many doubted a woman could enjoy crossover success like male artists did, Patsy proved them wrong and became a household name in the process. That summer, tragedy struck. In June 1961, she and her brother were in a serious car accident near Nashville. Thrown through the windshield, she suffered a deep gash across her forehead, a broken wrist, and a dislocated hip. When help arrived, her first words were to ask that the other driver be helped first. She spent a month healing in the hospital. The forehead scar remained visible for the rest of her life, and she dealt with lingering headaches wearing wigs, headbands, and carefully applied makeup both for comfort and to feel confident on stage. Determined to get back to work, she returned to performing just 6 weeks later, still on crutches, but with a renewed gratitude for every moment. She wanted to follow up I Fall to Pieces with another standout, and soon came across a song by a then-unknown writer named Willie Nelson, Crazy. At first, she didn't connect with it, and early recording attempts didn't go well. Her ribs, still healing, made it hard to reach the high notes. But after a few more tries, a fresh approach to the arrangement, and a little more time to recover, she nailed it in one perfect take. Released in late 1961, Crazy became her signature song, soaring to No. 2 on both the country and adult contemporary charts and peaking at No. 9 on the pop chart. 1961 also brought other milestones. She became the first woman in country music to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York, and the next year, she headlined at the Hollywood Bowl with Johnny Cash and made history again as the first female country artist to headline her own show in Las Vegas at the Mint Casino. In early 1962, she released She's Got You, another hit that reached No. 1 on the country chart and crossed over strongly to pop and adult audiences. Though she never entered the pop top 40 again during her lifetime, she continued releasing beloved country songs like When I Get Through With You, Imagine That, So Wrong, and Heartaches. That same year, she made her national TV debut on American Bandstand and released her third album, Sentimentally Yours. Her grace, warmth, and unmistakable voice made her unforgettable not just as a singer, but as a person. On March 3, 1963, she performed at a benefit in Kansas City, Kansas, for the family of a late radio DJ. The next morning, flights out of the area were grounded due to fog. Though friends offered her a ride back to Nashville, she chose instead to fly home with fellow performers Hawkshaw Hawkins and Cowboy Copas, piloted by her manager, Randy Hughes. After a few stops along the way, the small plane crashed in poor weather near Camden, Tennessee, on the evening of March 5th. Everyone aboard was lost. Patsy was only 30 years old, though her time in the spotlight was brief. Her impact endured and continues to grow. In 1973, she became the first solo female artist ever inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. A decade later, the 1985 film Sweet Dreams, starring Jessica Lange, brought her story and music to a whole new generation. Her honors since have been many: a U.S. postage stamp in 1993, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1995, and countless tributes from peers and fans alike. Her 1967 Greatest Hits album stayed on Billboard's country chart longer than any other album, male or female, for decades, and it still holds the record among solo women artists. In 1999, VH1 ranked her No. 11 on its list of the 100 greatest women in rock and roll. In 2002, Country Music Television named her the greatest woman in country music, placing her at the very top of their list of 40. That same year, Rolling Stone included her among the 100 greatest singers of all time. At No. 46, Patsy Cline rests at Shenandoah Memorial Park in Frederick County, Virginia, the place where it all began. Her voice still echoes strong, tender, and true. And every note reminds us greatness isn't measured in years, but in heart.